People didn't think I was human. They thought I came from outer space, man, from some spacecraft and landed down here and just formed Goggins from the rocks and the soul of the earth. No, that's not how it is, man. I see where I'm at today, but I know where I come from. The first year I tried to do is all f***ed up. And after a while, I started learning more and more and more through pain and suffering. I started learning so much about stuff. Before I knew it, man, I built this beautiful car. And I'm like, how the f*** did I do that? And I knew how, and I know how to do it because I have all the tools. Through all the failure I went through trying to build this person who's God. The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. I was a fat guy trying to be a Navy SEAL now, and my life had come to this crossroads where I'm like, man, you have to go right. And no one was going right. Everybody was going left. I'm like, you have to go right. And to know the pain and suffering I was about to endure by going right, the amount of accountability and failure I was going to witness and suffer by myself alone on this journey, I have the ability to see the end before the beginning even begins. That's what woke me up every fucking morning was, I'm gonna put myself through this much fucking pain and suffering for a few seconds. That's all it is. A few seconds of joy. And it's so fucking worth it, man. That's what people don't get. So I'm able to put myself at the finish line, even though I have no finish line, but at the finish line of an event before I even start the motherfucker and say, how are you gonna feel at the end of this? I've already done this a million times. And that's the one thing I practice and practice and practice and practice overnight. But also, the most important thing is I practice that feeling of accomplishment that I'm going to have when it's all said and done with. Your mindset, how you can picture yourself, how you can focus, how you can drive, how you can put yourself in so many situations, get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit's not gonna help me. Now the cold water is just water now. It's no longer cold anymore. Your mind starts to change. They say get in the water, most people think about it. For you, it became my life. So I started learning that if you start to change your mindset versus it being like, oh my God, this sucks. I became a professional bud student. So I wasn't gonna leave until I graduated. So I started realizing if this is my home, this is what I am, I had to always reset the bar. I had to reset my new norm. There always had to be a new norm. So one thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, motherfucker, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. Right. Your new norm is you wake up, you get in the cold water, you get a beer to this done. Whenever they say you're out, you get out. So my new norm, so I do that now today. My new norm now is if I'm doing a 200-mile run, your new norm now, man, is you are doing 200 miles. This is my time to show one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world that it's on. Whenever I'm weak at something, whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I mastered the human mind. And I realized why I no longer judge people, why I no longer put people on a pedestal, because we're all f***ed up our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. By me knowing that, I know that most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them, especially in that kind of realm.
The ego attachment.
The ego,
is very strong.
Ego will fuck you up every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. I was doing a live autopsy on how fucked up I was. I was like, hey, this fucked me up. I better fuck other people up too. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads. And the taking souls, that's where it happened, man. We're Wednesday, freezing fucking cold. Everybody's jackhammering. Everybody wants to, everybody's just wanting to get through it now. Don't underestimate that. It will find a fucking demon and it will bring out some insecurities in you. And it did. We get so stressed out that the end is so far away that we just can't find another foothold or another handhold. So we jump off the cliff and we just fall. I wanted people to push me outside of my comfort zone every day. And I thought this was going to be the absolute best platform to do that. These guys, the stories I heard after Buds, it just gets harder. And I didn't see it that way.
Because Buds is just to become the SEAL.
That's right. I'm like, my God, I can't imagine what the f*** is going to happen. But what happens to a lot of people, not everybody, can't speak for everybody, I don't know everybody. Buds breaks people down to the point where you don't want to be broken down again like that. To me, that was exactly the exact starting point for my journey in life. That was the starting point for me. For a lot of people, it's the finish line. And I didn't see it that way for me. So that's where I started becoming uncommon amongst uncommon people, is where I started realizing that you put people on a pedestal that you shouldn't, that you got to get in there yourself. So just me, when you join the SEAL teams, you're joining a big fraternity. So I was already asked out. So then when you're asked out, not wanting to hang out, I wasn't a dick. I do my own shit. That's me. So I grew up wanting friends at a young age. And once you get self-esteem and you know who you are, I was comfortable. You're not liking me, but I'm not hanging out. And then you take it to another step further with this being hard mentality of, if you guys aren't doing what I'm doing, you guys aren't shit. So I did a lot of things that pushed people the wrong way, that rubbed people the wrong way. And in that, being in the fraternity, it's like a big soap opera. It's like the fucking guiding light. And, people start not liking you for certain reasons. People don't know who the fuck you are. Rumor mills start happening. Then I have 2 heart surgeries. People think I don't want to fucking deploy overseas. Oh, Goggins don't want to fight. He just wants to run. But I'm not going out saying I had 2 heart surgeries. I couldn't even go fight. So just a lot of things happened. And within that, it's life. I chose the only on purpose. On purpose, just to see how I would come out the other end of it. It's just me and you in this mom and pop thing that we're doing. My God, man, I'm back. I'm always in constant pursuit of my 100%. Whatever that is. If I can't run anymore, I'm gonna see what else I can do. When you can't read and write and you're trying to hide out in classes and please don't call on me and you're fucking all scared and shit. Everywhere you go, you're nervous and you're panicked and you're stuttering and your whole life is that shit. There's not joy in that shit. That becomes who you are no matter how much you change. You're scarred. So people are like, my God, man, you never smile, you never do this. It's my life. It's my life. So you got to teach yourself how to read and write and also fucking smile and say, it's okay. A lot of things aren't like, man, why don't you do this? Like, I don't judge people. That's why I don't judge people. Man, you don't smile, you look so hard like this. Read my book and don't forget where I came from. It's who you are. You have to undo that shit. And no one came down and trained me on how to be happy, how to find peace, how to do this and that. That's why I'm so glad I found it through suffering. The greater the suffer, the greater the peace I found. You need the ability to fucking grind your ass into a fine fucking powder. And when you're in that fine powder, find a way to build that motherfucker back up repeatedly. And it's possible. My biggest fear in life is that one day if I ever get judged by something, someone, some energy force, that I go up there and I failed the mission. Whatever force up there thought I was supposed to be some badass and I went up there underachieved. I want that force up there that knows everything to be writing as I'm living, saying I had no fucking idea he even had this in him. So I want to just be the best I fucking can. And a lot of people say that. I truly mean that. I grind every day because nothing is permanent. But there's a new bar that you must always set in your life. And once you become complacent and you become civilized, you've arrived, you're no good for anybody. You didn't prioritize yourself. You didn't prioritize that, look, motherfucker, I got to get up and win this war today against myself. I need to look better. I need to feel better. I need to eat better. I need to prioritize time.
Or I got to run 100 miles on broken feet.
Or you got to do
whatever
that.
It is.
That's it, man. There's a lot of growth in that. No one is patient. And for you to lose weight, for you to stop drinking, whatever the hell you're going through, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, and a lot of pitfalls, a lot of plateaus. You're going to hit so many fucking plateaus. If you don't know how to get around that plateau, it's not going to happen fast. And once I found out who I really was, that's when I started growing. I was trying to build on top of a lied, f***ed up foundation. You can't build a house on a f***ed up foundation. So I had to get down to the actual mineral soil of who I was, and that's when you can start real growth. Once you've come to a place where you are really happy with who you are in life, no one f***s with you anymore. Even though they're f***ing with you,
It doesn't
f*** with you. It's easy to be happy. It's easy to smile. Those are the good times. The good times. Those times don't need to be trained. You know, I had to train myself for good times. Those times, for most people, don't need to be trained. What I'm trying to give you all is the misery of sometimes we go through in life. People go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say, I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So let's just play a game with me. Let's say you're God. And we have a big fucking long line of people. And I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. You have Adam Brown. He has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down, and I'm next in line, David Goggins. I see my name, and I see all this shit, and God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull up record, all this. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be. But what makes you way up here is being from way down here. No one's watching. No one gives a f***. It's hard, dangerous f***ing work. And, you know, you're doing it to help it out, man. I'm always looking for the next challenge. I'm never satisfied with, oh, I did that. Like, you know, I became a SEAL. I was an Air Force guy. I became a SEAL. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Force twice. You know, like I'm always looking for what is next, looking for those uncommon men and women, uncommon people, because I'm trying to grow. It's that mentality of I'm gonna pick up that fucking Pulaski and I'm gonna dig this fucking fire line for 3 damn miles. That's that mentality I never want to lose. I never want to get so nice with, oh, yeah, I did it, man. I did it. I'm good. That mentality of I'm willing to pick up that shovel and I'm willing to dig a 3 mile line, there's something about that mentality that I'm ready to go to work at any time. And that's what keeps me, those are the sparks, human growth. That's the biggest, like I said, my biggest trophy. That's why I turned down $300,000. The biggest trophy in life is what I've learned. Like this brain, if I could put this brain in somebody's head and say, here you go, Merry Christmas, they'd be a happy person. What I found out is that with no crowds, no one cheering for you, no races, no finish line, it's an amazing, amazing thing I've learned in my mind by no one cheering you on. Like what that is every morning I do what I do, I don't have a trainer waking me up. There's no one saying, David, you have to do this. I don't have to do anything anymore. I've done it. That's the beauty of all of this. Knowing that everything I talk about, no one even knows what the fuck I'm doing every day. And I know that I am grinding like a mother. What motivates me now is that there's over 600 some odd thousand people looking at me saying, motherfucking Goggins is somewhere out there. He's somewhere out there getting after it. And I am. So you ain't never fucking alone. I'm out there somewhere, 600 some thousand people. There's a chance that when you're working out, I don't care if you're in Washington, D.C. and I'm in Nashville, there's a good chance at the same time we're getting after it. Put the shoes on and get grinding.
No one's perfect.
Nope.
I'm not perfect now. I never will be. You're not, and you never will be, but you're better than you were yesterday, and you're going to be better tomorrow.
The mind always has the tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows your fears. Yeah. It knows your insecurities. It knows where they're hiding.
Can't hide.
Can't hide from that motherfucker, man. That motherfucker has a tactical advantage on you, son. That's going to get you, man. It's a beast. So I train every day because why? As my mind and as a human, we're supposed to move. Every day is supposed to move. And I'm not saying get after it every day. Get after it means just do something every day.
Right.
Ride a bike. Like if you're real tired from working out hard, ride an easy bike, spin.
If you're going to do it, do it. say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would have. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet, don't half-ass it. Now, I will say this, though. I do know now, and I didn't know it then, I've realized it in the last 10 years, the way that I asked him is part of the reason he gave me that answer. I really wasn't asking him. We raise our kids to go in a structured form. Follow this and you can get most of what you want in life. And that can work. But what do we really want our kids to do? We want them to follow that and then bust out of it one day and not even ask our permission. And that's when we're going, that's my boy, that's my girl, that's my child. When he said don't half-ass it, he was, and I talk about this in the book, he wasn't only giving me permission, he was giving me a responsibility. He was going, I knew I had his word with me in my future decisions. I was making them for more than myself. I wanted to fail less because I didn't want to embarrass him. And that was extra motivation, extra strength, extra courage, extra sobriety, extra like, well, let's find out. Go for it, man. Go for it. If that character means that line, and that character's not playing that line as an attitude or a wink or a joke, if that character means that line, you could write a book on it. Who is my man? Who is Wooderson? What do I love? What do I love? What I love? When time to kill is when all of a sudden I noticed, oh, wow, I'm famous. I probably start off intellectualizing something that I know I probably should believe in, but don't believe in it, and convince myself, even to an extent to trick myself. Sit here and go, well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great. Well, what the hell's that mean? Even if it's true. In the moment, you're like, what are you talking about, man? I'm in the debit section. I'm in a warning section. This sucks. This isn't all it is. And if it is, oh, so what? That's okay. Well, then really, so what? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? I get the blues. I get sad. I get mad. To be around. I can't get to sleep. I got demons in my own head trying to work the riddle out. At any bad thing that happens to me, my initial reaction is, well, what'd you do wrong to lead to this? Well, what'd you do in the last 2 weeks to let this get to a point where you just had to raise your voice? There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise, that know that if I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys. There's less stress. There's less warning signs. There's less problematic, how'd we get in this? So there's consistently behaviors that I know I can act upon that have worked in the past.
People who take responsibility for things that aren't their responsibility. We often get told pieces of advice in the modern world. It might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. And one of the ways to unburden yourself is to assume that everything is. But there is a cohort of people.
Well, it's an arrogant notion. Yeah.
Look at how if only I could have stepped in. Yeah, you make yourself
but
the
also
center.
The first side. I'm the reason that I stepped, which is also an asset. We didn't get in trouble in my family for the bad deed. We got in trouble for getting caught. Because you can't jump to the objective right away and go, inshallah, oh, fate'll have it. This too shall pass. I'm fine. No, because then you don't deal with the crisis. Not right now, but one day this is going to be a great story. What you're about to say and do will outlive you, so you better do it well. Most people think, they go, well, that's insensitive. But it's not insensitive. They usually think that means you're not giving the crisis credit, if you can laugh at it. And I wholeheartedly disagree. I got a key in my pocket that unlocks the door. I've been bloodying my skull over, banging into. Do I take myself seriously? Yes. But I also take seriously that I don't. Do I want to know everything? Yeah, but I also take seriously that I don't know. Force myself to write every day, no matter how happy I was. And I didn't a lot of times want to go write when I was happy, because I was like, no, I don't need to write it. I don't need to become conscious of it.
I'm having too much fun. It's getting in the way.
Come on, I'm doing it. It's living, it's happening. You're really happy in this segment of your life. Let's go back and look at what you were doing. I've definitely found consistencies, and I think we all have them if we just notate them along the way, that they're not by accident. Because we sure as hell deconstruct the reasons when we're in the funk, and we don't believe they're by accident. We can take ourselves to behind the woodshed and show ourselves exactly why we're guilty for every reason and condemn ourselves for every damn reason we got to that spot. What's my best advice I need to give myself right now is listen to my own damn advice. Trying to live with less gravity and more backbone is a salty task. You live lighter, not take certain things so seriously, but still have the principled backbone, because as I'm getting older, we get older and the black and whites turn to gray, and then there's a great word, compromise, we all say, which is such a mature thing to do. And then all of a sudden we let things slide, and then we start going, well, change will happen. Hey, change is inevitable. Let change happen. And I'm not ready. That's part of getting old, I think, not just getting older. Same with cynicism. It's a disease of getting too old. And I'm not ready to, I don't want to be ready to give up certain things. I'm going, no, man. The beauty of ignorance, those things that we believed in. I've gotten away with so many things because of my ignorance. I would be dead 14 times in this life if I wouldn't have been ignorant of the situation I was in. It's more backbone to hold on and be principled to what I stand for, what I stand against, when it becomes easier and easier to just go with the flow. And I'm not ready to go, let's just go with the flow. I don't want to pick the wrong battles. I'm trying to be discerning and not picking the wrong fights, because I like picking fights and going after challenges. But I'm in a place, I'm kind of like, man, it's tough duty to win the fair fights. And there's a lot of unfair fights out there. And why do I want to spend my time, if I got 24 hours a day, picking unfair fights when I'm going to be busting my ass to win the fair ones? They remind us of the best of ourselves. They shine that light and remind us, because we do. I know I do. It gets, I put the blinds on it and I don't see it a lot of times, and I'll be reminded I've never been as good in my dreams as I am in real life. When you do succeed, and a lot of people go, oh, that's nothing. I prescribed it. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. Why me? Why me? There's other people that deserve this more than me. I pushed against it. And I even had clumsy times where I got ugly just to counter it. I didn't pay a penance there, man. I didn't give it enough tithe. I didn't, like I said, break the proverbial sweat, draw the blood to earn that thing. People have bio on you. They have an idea, an opinion for you before you ask for it. Sometimes it's hyperbole to the awesome, too overly exaggerated awesome. Sometimes it's well below. And you walk outside, you don't even have to talk to the world. You know, you feel eyes. You see how people move towards you or move away from you, or you catch it all in your periphery, and you start going, I know what they think. And maybe that's false. Feels a lot better when it's maybe false, but to the, oh, they even think I'm better they think I did better than I did. Open your eyes, bro. Look around, man. You kidding me? Take your time. I like that. Let's see some more of that. Somebody's real healthy, the other one's on IR. That takes patience by the one who's healthy and takes persistence by the one who's on IR. But you gotta wait up to hold that hand to go, we're still doing this together, even though maybe in this zone right now in my life, I'm flying and you're walking. It was a big risk, it was a big chance, and it was no guaranteed return ticket. It was a one-way ticket. I haven't even heard your name. I'm like, that sounds pretty much like irrelevance to me, bro. Okay. All right. But never, like, I was shaky, but never was I going to go, okay, I'll go back.
Ripcord.
I'll do it. Never was I going to pull the parachute. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, the push off, you have established leverage rather than the create. You're going to lean into something. You also need something to push up. The push off is what you're leaning into, is that mystery going forward, right? That ironic strategy that you have something to push off. I don't know what I do want, but I do know I don't want that. You have leverage.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's there. Who are you? You know, once you figure out who you are, how can I get rid of my life than it is to go, well, how do I go to my true self? But man, the one out for revenge wins a lot of the times. The one who's pushing against.
Yep.
Now I'm going to get back at you. Rage. Nothing gets more done than that emotion of rage.
Yep.
We like to say, no, freedom and light is the one that carries it. Man, I don't know. That's maybe too evolved for us to really grab a hold of. Rage and anger and revenge are mighty powerful emotions, man.
Yeah.
They get a lot of done. What do you call it? Self-implode, because you can't recognize your allies from your enemies. And you start taking it out on your allies. We see it in relationships. You start taking it out on your mate. You start taking it out on your wife, your husband, your lover. And like, I'm an ally, man. We're on the same team. But you're back to that non-deserving. No, I gotta bleed. No, I gotta win. I gotta get angry. No, hey, I swim until I don't want to swim anymore. Is the price you pay, the cost, the consequence of chasing down. You go, we go. There's another side. I understand. You go, got opportunities that can do great things. I can share art or leadership in the world that, hey, I'm going to be away. And maybe there's an argument that could be better for your children later on, or maybe better for their children. Check your quality as you're chasing your quantity, and make sure that whatever you're succeeding at is giving you actual profit and actually paying you back.
What's wrong with you?
My goal is to enrage people. No one makes good decisions when they're emotional. All lives matter. You should be training, whether it's 2 hours a day, 4 times a week, or whether it's 1 day a week, where you're gonna go and you're gonna go through scenarios. You're gonna do combatives. You're gonna work with simunition. You're gonna do de-escalation drills. You need to go through these tough scenarios over and over again, because you do get better at it. You do get better at it. You learn how to mentally detach and not get emotional and realize that there's other things that are happening. You can get better at it.
Yes.
You can get better at it, but you only get better at it through training.
Right.
And you only get really comfortable through training a lot. You actually have to go out and build relationships with the good people inside that country, so that the good people inside that country can help you get rid of the bad people. Focus on going out and building relationships. The problem is bad leadership. It's always bad leadership, because you can take a bunch of knuckleheads and you give them a good leader and they'll do fine. Leadership is a skill, and you can get better at it. Improve them. The more of them you learn, the better off you'll be. And you need to practice them. You won't be good at them out of the gate, understanding where the leadership is and what they're thinking, and so you can become a much, much better leader over time. We're going to come up with a plan together. You and your team are totally bought into the plan. You made it up. As opposed to me coming down and barking orders at you and telling you how we're going to do it. Doesn't work. I mean, I can force you to do it because I outrank you. No, I order you to do this. That doesn't fly. You know how many times in my entire military career I said, hey, I'm the boss. You better do what I tell you to do? You want to know how many times I said that? 0 times. No one thinks like that. So in a leadership position, what you have to do is say, hey, I'm going to find out what's going on. I'm going to talk to people, and we're going to put together a plan to figure out how we're going to get this solved. This is not acceptable in America. As a leader, you have to listen to other people's ideas. And you absolutely have to do that.
You have to be proactive. You'd have to call them, what's up, man? How you doing? Everything good? You good? Like, they have to get a good feeling out of you.
Yeah.
And you gotta say, listen, I gotta ask you this favor. I need this thing from you. And then you're rolling, and everything's good. But
Exactly.
If you don't do it that way, then people go, this guy. Oh, this guy just wants things from me, or this guy's annoying, or this guy's treating me like a.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These people have a job. They have a purpose. They're moving in a certain direction. You're making something with your hands. You're producing something here in this country. That's just like, well, it's like when you go hunting. When I go hunting, you get something for yourself. There's a certain feeling of being self-sufficient. He wants a life. He wants to make money. And tell your people the truth about what's happening. If you're a leader, tell the people the truth about what's going on. That's what you need to do. And then people come back to me and they say, well, what if I don't know what? What if I don't know the truth? Then what you do is you say, hey, I don't know the truth. Hey guys, I don't know exactly how this is going to play out. These are some contingencies that I'm preparing for. That is so much more acceptable from the troops than when you try and pretend like you know what you're talking about and it turns out you're wrong.
Right. Different stages of life, in this game called society and capitalism and you start off at square A, everybody starts at a different spot, granted, but I started at the bottom, and you figure out a way to get a fucking test. And if you're in a spot right now in your life where you can't have a test, well, definitely don't go and expose yourself till we know what the fuck it is. Keep people safe. Drink water. Stay healthy. Work
Eat
out.
good.
Get out in the sun.
Earn money. Where I finally have 4 days or 5 days where I, don't have anything scheduled. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to shoot my bow. I'm going to chill. And I get up there and it's like my mind switches and all of a sudden I get sick. It's like I saved up illness to where I know I can be allowed to get sick, working hard and doing great, get in there and it just, people underestimate, people don't think there's as much of a difference between like a black belt in jiu-jitsu and what would be considered an equivalent, world champion in Muay Thai. Oh yeah.
There's a big difference.
Step in the ring.
The problem is the ego, where people don't know how to fight and someone puts their dukes up and they decide to see what they can do. They decide in that moment to either fake it or just to see if they can possibly hit the guy, and then they get banked. Somebody tees off on them.
You feel different.
Yeah.
You feel humbled. You feel small. You feel perspective. Hey, you got to get out there. You don't even know what you. Sometimes you don't even. You get done with a good roll in jiu-jitsu, and you say, you don't barely even remember it because your mind is just gone. You're just monkey mind.
Zen.
This total Zen state. Same thing with being in the water for me, surfing. Same thing. Like, I'm out here and my mind is just empty. It's monkey mind. And I think that's really good for you. Plus the fact it's humbling. Plus the fact it's healthy. So, yeah, I just have a strong connection to the ocean. I know my son's a real waterman. He's out. He surfs all the time. I'd hate to do that to him, and then my little daughter's getting her surfing on. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah.
Because when you've got to do an operation that involves the water, it just sucks. Everything about it sucks. Everything about it sucks. You're getting in you're parachuting from a plane into the water. It's nighttime. You got there's freaking parachute drifting around. You got to get your motor started. It's freezing cold. Boats flip over. Then you got to drive that boat to the beach and you got to drive through the surf zone. Your weapons are covered with sand. You're freezing cold. It's just, everything sucks. Everything sucks about it. So when that's kind of your starting, and by the way, you haven't even conducted your operation yet. You haven't even started the operation, and you're freezing cold, you're tired, your radio got flooded out, your night vision goggles are freaking filled with sand, everything sucks. And now you got to conduct your operation. So in order to survive that way on a regular basis, that's one of the things that makes the SEAL teams good, is we're used to this one additional component all the time. That you always have to deal with. You have to figure that out. You have to be able to gut through it. What are you going to do? You know it's going to suck. You just got to do it.
Stimulates my mind. It kicks in those endorphins, and then all of a sudden I got an extra gear that keeps you going, that makes you achieve. It's like people think that it's easy to just kind of go out there and get things done, but it's not. That's why most people don't do it.
You're actually, you could be doing a lot more right now. What about this? What about that? What about the other thing? That's what's going on in my head. Yeah. There's not something that's going, gee, I have to get up. No, there's a thing in there going, you better get up. You better get up. They're tracking on you. They're watching you. You better get up. It's happening. There's a bad guy out there. He's training harder. That's what's in my head. It's not in my head oh, no. Hey, please. Let the freaking powers of the world allow me to go into bed at night and just pass out and be like, I'm good. I'm satisfied with my life right now. I wish I could feel that for freaking 8 hours a night. It ain't there. It ain't there. It's people talk about staying hungry. I'm fucking starving. I'm starving. Anger, aggression really doesn't help you.
At all.
Yeah, at all.
You know what fucks you up hunting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because anger and aggression is all fast twitch too. It's all movement. Whereas the bow is you got to have the mind of no mind. Mm-hmm. You got to just execute and just stay completely focused on the task.
Totally detached from what's happening.
Yeah.
And you just got to sit there and...
It's a new skill, really.
It's totally new skill.
And for me, in the competition that I experienced, the only competition I had other than inside the gym, training partners, is fighting, and that's all fast stuff. It's all explosions and movement. Mm-hmm. So anytime where there's danger and anxiety and fear, your body's geared up to go quick and move quick. But with hunting, it's the opposite. When you're drawing back on an animal, all that anxiety, like, you better get that quick out of your head. There's no quick. There's execute in calmness. Stay in the zone. Nothing exists other than the process of executing the perfect shot.
Prioritize and execute. Like, you've got to figure out what the priorities are and then execute on those things. But you got to figure out what the biggest priority is at any given time. Like I said, whether it's this business or your family or your health, at certain times you got to say, all right, I got to pay attention to my family right now. I can feel things are getting a little bit sketchy over there. Or, all right, my family seems solid right now. I got to focus on this part of the business. You can't do everything yourself. You need to allow your subordinate leaders to step up and lead and make things happen. So it's mandatory to do that if you're gonna execute on more than one thing in life. Well, you got to be able to detach a little bit and take a step back and take a look at what's going on in the world and take a look at what's going on in your world to go, oh, you know what? It seems like this might not be the best thing. Because that's, I think, what happens is if you don't take a step back and you don't detach, then you're not going to recognize what's happening, what's going on. You can do it for a little while. You can do it depending on the thing. You can do it for a day or a week or a month sometimes. But then after that, you got to say, all right, I got to take a step back. Health is one that you don't want to totally walk away from health at any time. And I think that's one of the reasons that I feel like I'm doing pretty good right now is I probably haven't taken more than, 2 or 3 days off from working out in decades. You know what I mean? So yeah, okay, I had a surgery on my neck. So, okay, that was, I took some time after that. But even after that, like after 3 days, I was in my garage gym walking around in circles. That doesn't surprise me. Just trying to make something happen. But I think when people completely abandon their health for a month or 2 months, I think that's where injuries start coming into play and you really go backwards. No one knows everything. No one makes all perfect decisions. No one understands every element of the world. So I think a good way to gain confidence quickly is to admit the fact that you don't know everything and just be okay with saying, yeah, I'm not really sure what to do here. You can be in charge of people that have more experience than you. And if that makes you uncomfortable, oftentimes people flex to try and act like they know more than they do, when it's like, oh yeah, you've run these kind of operations before, Chris? Why don't you take lead on this? Okay. I'm the senior guy, I'm the boss, but I say, hey Chris, you've already run these type of operations. Why don't you take lead on this? No big deal.
Unconfidence comes from you positioning your level of expertise higher than it actually is.
Yeah, and there's like a whole cycle too, because it's almost like a circular thing, because if you want to be confident, you got to be humble. And then when you're humble, then you are more confident because you're okay with not knowing. If you need to perform, you need to be very, very humble. And like, if I've got an event that I've got to do, I've got a mission that I've got to do, I've got to train, I've got to prepare, I've got to plan, and all of that is driven from humility, right? I don't think I'm ready, so I'm gonna prepare more, I'm gonna rehearse more. I'm not thinking clearly about what the enemy will do, so I need to come up with a better plan. Like, I'm gonna be very humble, and I'm gonna therefore prepare very hard and very extensively. But at the moment I put my night vision goggles on and I lower them down over my eyes, there's like a switch that goes off that I am 100% going to win. Going to tack or going hunting, you're training all the time because you don't want to miss the shot. You got to be humble. You know how hard it is. You're going to be out of breath. The pressure's going to be on. And so you got to train, prepare. You go up, get confident. Yeah, I'm going to punch this thing right through that target. No factor. Be humble, be prepared. Do you prepare prior to? Yeah, you're like, oh, I got to do my notes and get everything set up. But when you walk out on stage, like when you put that mic on, you should be like, all right, it's go time. And I'm going to slay this situation that I'm going into, practicing more than anybody else. And that way, again, going into the game, give me the ball. Give me the ball. It's clutch time. It's go time. Give me the ball. I'm going to make this. And that's the same with Jordan, same with Larry Bird. Like, you look at the greats, they all practiced insane. They were insane when it came to practice. They tried to beat everyone at practice. They'd stay after practice. And when game time came, they would, first of all, talk smack. Give me the ball, because they know that they can make the shot. Go. Yep. when all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action and start moving forward. And I'm going cognizant enough to recognize that at some point, oh yeah, this feeling of caution and fear and all that stuff in the back of my head, yeah, I just need to get rid of all that and just go. There's got to be something that you do that makes you a little bit scared. And he can't pick up the sword and he can't pick up the shield. It's too heavy. But he's the kid. He's the son of the king. He's the prince. He's got to go fight. The more you sit there and think about it, the worse it's going to get in your own head. You can control a lot more than you think. And the world is happening. And if you let the world happen to you, it's going to happen to you. But if you want to make something happen in the world, you can do that as well. It's a choice you get to make. No one's going to die. And we're going to recover from this and everything's going to be cool. Like, it's all right. Hey guys, no one's dead. We're going to be okay. We're going to, no one's getting their bonus this quarter, but okay, me included, but that's all right. We're going to get through this and we're going to grow and we learn from it and we're going to carry on. What the leader needs to do is take a step back from that chaos and confusion, figure out what's happening and make decisions. Human beings with an incredible amount of training are still going to do things that you don't expect them to do. And that's real. There's just these things that are happening that there's a lot going on. And yeah, sometimes your adrenaline's going and you start to slow down and see things moving in a slower manner. Time kind of slows down sometimes. You start hearing some things that you might not have heard or not hearing things that you would hear. When that adrenaline runs out, you have to have the discipline to say, oh, I'm getting in my corner. I need to take a knee to lower my profile, period, end of story. I gotta follow the protocols no matter what. So depending on who you are, you're gonna sort of get guided to a job that is suitable for you. As you grow, right? As you get older, you must learn to regulate some of that stuff too. I'm assuming, so that you are harder to disrupt.
Knock off base. Yeah.
When a kid does something good, you don't compliment them on their talent. You compliment them on their hard work.
Effort. Yeah.
Which this is a little bit of the opposite, right? If I say, hey, Chris, you did a great job because you're so talented, then you're like, oh, cool, I don't have to work that hard. But it's a little bit of the opposite, right? A little bit of the opposite. I guess there's always people that, as they're trying to fish for a contrarian thing to say, which I think you kind of have to fish for it. I think you have to work for it to get with that statement. But, there's such a thing as too much discipline. And if you have so much discipline in your life, then you won't be enjoying your life. And cool. Yep. If you are so disciplined that you never go out and you never eat a pizza, cool. You might be bummed out. My dad and I, we went to the gym the other day and we were both training, and I was training with, the guys that I train with, and she was training with the people she trains with. And it's a Sunday and we're training. We're both really tired when we're done, and we get done and we're kind of sitting up on the mats and we're talking, and I look at her and I said, not one part of me wanted to come train today. 0% of me wanted to come train today. And I'm so glad I came and trained, because, you always feel great when you get done training. But so my daughter went and spoke to this group and she said, my dad, Mr. Discipline, who's been on this path for however many decades, my dad didn't want to train. And he had to go, hey, doesn't matter whether you want to do it or not, you got to have the discipline, go do it. And he did, and he got done with it. Discipline isn't just, this person is, quote, more disciplined than this other person. It's like, no, this person is choosing discipline, this person is not. That's the way it is. You have the option of being disciplined. You don't have the option of being born 6'4", right? You don't have that option. You either are or you're not. But you do have the option of choosing discipline or not. Discipline begets discipline, right? If you make a bad decision in the morning and you decide you're not going to get out of bed, you decide you're not going to work out, when you get to the office, the donuts are that much more tempting and you're probably going to eat one. Whereas if you woke up early, you worked out, you got a little bit of work done before you even showed up to work, you show up to work and now there's donuts, you're like, I don't need those right now. You just make better decisions. In that vein, when I don't feel like going to train jujitsu, or I don't feel like waking up, or I don't feel like working out, whatever that thing is, that feeling that I mentioned to my daughter of I'm so happy I came and trained today, I know that feeling so well that it just totally overrides the,
Oh, so you're
the
projecting
weakness.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm
into
just like, oh yeah, I know how much better I'm going to feel in an hour and a half. I know that feeling so well. And I also know the other feeling, which is, man, I didn't train today. It was Sunday and I decided I needed a day off. It's like, no, train. I know that. And I think that is very helpful. If you want to do something, how much discipline does it take? If you give up a little bit today, like you can't get it back. Like if you skip a workout today, there's no possible way to get that back. When you let something go, it's gone. So you can't count on motivation. Like it's not going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Or it may, but it may not be. And
It's lovely when it comes along.
if you wait for it to be there, you might be waiting more than you should. What are your options? Like, okay, you're upside down financially, relationship went south, you got whatever those things are, your credit card debt is up, you got fired from your job. Okay, you're in a terrible situation. What are your options? What you have to do is, you kind of have to prioritize and execute, right? Like, okay, I got all these bad things going on in my life. What is my biggest problem right now? And you got to say, okay, I got to start with solving that problem. And you got to start to going back to I think it was the initial thing that we talked about, take action. You got to take action and move forward. And if you don't, the downward spiral doesn't end. And if you allow it to continue to go down, that's where it's going to end up. What can I make better right now? And start to reassemble things and put them back together. They don't like to fight. They don't like the idea of it. They don't like the physical, close contact, whatever the case may be. And they'll say, I don't like it. How long do I have to do it for? And one of the things that I say is, you have to do until you submit someone. Do those little things until at the end of the day, you go, that was a pretty good day. Because if you just get up and, okay, well, I got out of bed and Chris said get out of the bed, but I still freaking don't like, I still feel like crap, right? Okay, well, get out and do a little bit more and do a little bit more and do a little bit more and do a little bit more. And you can stop when you get to the end of the day and you go, okay, you know what? Today was a pretty freaking cool day and I feel good. Then if you want to go back to living in the hole and ordering Uber Eats, go ahead. But at least give me the effort to make yourself have a good day. You don't see much progress, the next day. You get a pump, and depending on your physical makeup, like if you're overweight, you don't see a pump, which is a bummer. And so if you're overweight, you're not going to get any gratification going to the gym external. You're not going to see anything. So you got to keep going. You got to keep going until you start making some progress. Oh, I'm going to make it. My girlfriend that dumped me, she said I could never be a SEAL. Cool. And he's going to make it. Or my girlfriend who dumped me, who said I'd never be a SEAL, she's right. I'm quitting. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so trying to figure out who's going to make it and who's not going to make it is really, really
That's why
difficult.
you need to test. That's why you can't just do the genetic thing before and be like,
you're doing some stuff and there's something that looks like it might be interesting to me and I'll go try that thing out. And don't always win, but I'll give it a crack and see what happens. And I'm not, I'm very much an iterative decision maker, meaning I make very small decisions at a time. I don't go all in on some chance. I'm a little bit more methodical than that. And so, I see something that seems like it's a good opportunity or something that I'm interested in, I'll go give it a crack. And if it works, then cool. You look at the enemy situation and you probe for areas of weakness. And once you find an area of weakness, you put more resources behind that area and assaulting that area. And if you continue to get good results, you put more resources and you continue to do well. And what do you want to do with your life? Because you got one life. It's going by quickly. And this is something that years ago, I spent a good chunk of my 30s training MMA fighters. And, we had a jiu-jitsu gym, we had an MMA gym. And so in the beginning, when a potential fighter would come in and they'd be 22 years old and I'd say, hey, how old are you? and they'd say, I'm 22, and they say, I want to fight. There's a fight card coming up. I want to be on it. And I was like, I'd tell them, listen, you got plenty of time, like get better, train, up your skills. And I said that for probably 3 or 4 years. And then after 3 or 4 years, when guys would come in, I would start telling them the opposite, which is you need to get on it. You need to be in here every day. You're almost out of time. You're 22, you're late. And when you don't have a sense of urgency, things aren't going to happen. You need to make things happen, as we already discussed. They're not just going to happen for you. You're not going to become a good fighter unless you make it happen. And you're not going to do anything in life unless you make it happen. Take 15 minutes, figure out something that you're into, and go crush that thing and make it happen.
For better or worse, life is really short. And it's this ridiculous irony that you only see in retrospect how short it is, right? It doesn't feel short at the time, but I bet when you get to your 80s and you look back, you think, holy, that went by in no time at all.
Yeah, I had that conversation with my mom a couple of years ago, and she said, I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Talking on the phone, and she said, oh, it's been a pretty rough couple months because this person died, this person died, this person died. And she's almost 80 or something like that. And so people die. And I said to her, Mom, all those people that you're talking about that are 80, 85, 87 years old, like they've had a full run at it. I'm like, I've buried my friends that are 27 years old, 30 years old, 31 years old. Like that's horrible. And so people that got this full run, man, be thankful that they got that full run. And right now, if you're a dude and you're 22 years old and you feel like you're directionless, get your together, man, and go start making things happen.
The only way that you can work out what it is that you need to do is by hurrying up and doing it.
Yeah, you're going to blow some stuff. You're going to make some bad decisions. You're going to screw some things up. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like those make for good stories, man. Mm-hmm. Go get them. Go make them happen. Mm-hmm. Don't sit around being afraid that you might screw something up. You're going to screw something up. That's guaranteed. Go do it. Get a good story out of it.
The most important day that you have is the day when you stop doing that, when a fist comes towards your face, because you realize, oh, actually, if this happens, it's okay.
Yep. And
it's that symbolically for your life. I've gone too hard, and it's actually time for me to rest and recover. I think this the balance between having an internal Jocko and an internal tyrant, I think is a delicate one. And it's one where you go, like, is this, how close to the red line am I here? Yeah. Do I deserve the time off or do I not?
That's another one of my rules is, oh, you need a day off today? You can't take a day, you can take it tomorrow. So if you wake up today and you're like, oh, I feel like crap today, cool. Feel like crap today, go do what you're supposed to do. If you wake up the next day and you go, yeah, I'm hurting, cool, take that day off. Because you can get through today even if you need a day off, but if you really truly need a day off and you plan and you take it tomorrow, I'm okay with it.
Never miss 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
That one missed day is a mistake, 2 missed days is the start of a new habit.
There is no excuses, right? It's just you and another person. There's no time limit, and I think those are a very good way to do it. When you have the ability, when people's human nature takes over, and I want to build my organization to be a little bit bigger than someone else's organization because it's going to benefit us and it's going to make me better and it's going to make our chain of command higher, then people do that. And they've been doing it for a long time. Like I said, there's going to be some collateral damage and people will freak out about the collateral damage. But when something happens and we got rid of this program and it turns out that program was actually something that looks like we should keep, okay, cool, we'll bring it back. It's not that big of a deal. And it passed the test, by the way, because everyone, let's not get rid of that program. Okay, cool. Yep, you're right. Show me the numbers. Yep, let's bring that program back in.